Thank you. Ladies, any more slips on it? No. Okay. All right. Now, we're not adopting that. We'll come back and get comments. I'm sure there'll be some written comments as well on that item. I think we're ready to return to file item 10A on the executive summary. And Mr. Natoli, you had a question, suggestion, comment?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. On page 9.
Page 9?
Yes, it'd be...
this is agenda item 10A.
Fifth paragraph on the left-hand side, where it starts the distinctive delta landscape. And I've had a chance to huddle briefly with Councilmember Johnston, and I think we've got some proposed language. I don't know, Pat, do you want to weigh in? But the two things that really caught this councilmember's attention were in the very first sentence first line where it said the distinctive delta landscape suffers from urban encroachment, and then went on to say is disruptive and comma, but quote, even unsafe. And I thought that the implications of that were a little bit of a reach, and so we have some language I think it maybe clearly reflects the impacts of urbanization, but also I think points out a little more clearly. So I'll let Pat maybe speak to it. So Pat.
Our suggestion for that sentence would read, the distinctive delta landscape has been greatly impacted by urban encroachment, often including a higher flood risk in this part of the world.
In this part of the
world, which is the language in the sentence already.
All right. Okay. Now, comments and questions on that. Mr. Fiore, okay. Comments and questions. Okay. Ms. Patterson, you had on this issue, that sentence, are you commenting? It's a different one. Okay. If you don't mind, let me try to resolve this thing. Members of the audience, you've heard the suggestion on language change on page 9 as identified. I know you didn't have a chance to submit a blue form. Any of you want to talk on that, we'd be happy to hear from you.
Could you repeat that language one more time?
Okay. The sentence will read, Mr. Johnston.
The distinctive delta landscape has been greatly impacted by urban encroachment, often including a higher flood risk in this part of the world.
Staff, you've got the motion or the suggestion? Okay. Ms. Messer, you've got that? Okay. All right. Comments or questions by members of the council? My recommendation to you is we get a motion to adopt the Delta plan with this change. I mean, the executive summary.
Right.
With this change, not vote on it until we have heard Ms. Patterson's comments and any others on the executive summary. But I think that would procedurally give us something to work from. Mr. Johnston?
I would move the executive summary with the change supported by...
And Mr. Natoli seconds that. All right. Ms. Patterson,